everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I'm Nuzhat Sana and in this video I'll discuss today's top current and static general studies questions for UPSC Prelims Examination 2022 onwards. And these questions are framed keeping in view both the factual as well as analytical aspects of UPSC Prelims exam. Also, I would like to inform you that these questions are part of GK Today's UPSC Prelims test series, which is available in GK Today Android app. And the test series for 2022 Prelims examination comprises total of 7500 questions divided 2500 questions on current general studies and 5000 questions on static general studies. And the series has started from May 2021 and it will end with UPSC Prelims Examinations 2022. So if you wish to access all questions of GK Today UPSC Prelims test series, you may subscribe the test series in the app. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
So today this is our lecture number 35 and now let's start. Question number 1. Which of the following are the items included in the negative list of defense imports published in August 2020? First of all, what is this negative list of defense imports? Actually, it means that the armed force, army, navy and air force will only procure such items from domestic manufacturers, and these manufacturers could be private sector players or DPSUs, that is Defense Public Sector Undertakings. And why this policy was needed? Because as per the Stockholm Peace Research Institute, India has been the second largest importer between 2014 and 2019 with total of $16.75 billion worth of imports during this period. And now government wants to decrease the dependence on imported items of defense and give boost in the arm to the domestic defense manufacturing industries. Okay, so by denying the possibility of importing the items on the negative list, the domestic industries is given an opportunity to step up and manufacture them for the needs of the forces. Okay, now what is the significance of this move? First of all, it provides an excellent opportunity for startups as micro, small and medium enterprises. Then secondly, it recognizes the potential of local defense industries, and thirdly, it helps in boosting the scope of domestic research and development by attracting fresh investment into technologies and manufacturing capabilities. Okay, so the first negative list for defense imports was published in August 2020 and it had total 101 items such as artillery guns, short range surface to air missiles, cruise missiles, offshore patrol vessels, that is OPVs, then electronic warfare systems, then next generation missile vessels and floating dock and anti-submarine rocket launchers. Okay, then the second list was approved recently, imposing restrictions on the import of 108 military weapons and systems such as next generation corvettes, airborne early warning systems, tank engine radars and MRSAM, that is medium range surface to air missile weapon system. Okay, now let's come back to the question. Basically, we have to tell that which among the following items are included in the first negative list for defense imports. Cruise missiles, airborne early warning and control system, towed artillery guns and offshore patrol vessels. All are right, hence correct answer is option number D, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the imports of these 101 defense items was planned to be progressively implemented between 2020 to 2024. And a separate budget has been created with an outlay of nearly 52,000 crore rupees domestic capital procurement in the current fiscal year. Okay, now question number 2. Which of the following Indian movies have been nominated for Oscar award in any category? So which among the following movies have been ever nominated into Oscars? First is Three Idiots. No, it has never been nominated for Oscar anytime. Second is Lagan, Once Upon a Time in India. This is actually a 2001 period drama film that was nominated under the Best Foreign Language Film category. Okay, this is right. Third is Dangal. No, it is also wrong. And fourth is Salaam Bombay. It is a 1998 Hindi film that depicts the lives of children in Mumbai slums. And it was also nominated for Best Foreign Language Film category in the Oscars. So correct answer becomes 2 and 4, that is option number C. Now why it was in news? Because recently 93rd Academy Awards ceremony, also known as Oscars Award, took place in Los Angeles in the month of April, and in the category of Best Picture, the winner is Nomadland. Then Best Director was Chloe Zhao, who directed this picture Nomadland, and with this she became only the second woman to claim the title and first woman of color to win that award. Okay, now Best Actor was Anthony Hopkins for The Father, and lastly Best Actress award goes to Frances McDormand for Nomadland again. Okay, now the important thing is Indian film personalities Irfan Khan and Bhanu Athaiya were honored in the In Memoriam Montage showcased at the event. Okay, now apart from these two movies, Lagan and Salaam Bombay, there is one more movie named as The White Tiger. It is a 2021 film adaptation of the novel by Aravind Adig, and it was nominated under Best Adapted Screenplay category. Okay, then another movie is, I'm writing it here, Little Bombay, Once Upon a Time in India. It is a 2004 movie in Hindi, Bangla and Urdu, and it was nominated in the Best Live Action Short Film category. Fine. Now next question. With reference to the government formation in Israel, consider the following statements. First is, Government of Israel has a unicameral legislature called Knesset. Yes, this is right. Actually, Israel has this type of legislature which is elected for a 4-year term. However, the average lifespan of Knesset is approximately 2 years, and hence early elections are common there. Second is, the Constitution of Israel is one of the smallest written constitutions in the world. Actually, Israel has unwritten constitution. So no question arises regarding smallest and largest. Okay, so this is wrong. Third is, Israel has two-party system. No, the country has multi-party system, and most of the governments till date have been coalition governments. Okay, and the members of the cabinet require the collective approval of Knesset. So this is also wrong, and correct answer becomes only 1. Actually, Israeli system of government is based on parliamentary democracy, and Prime Minister of Israel is the head of government and leader of multi-party system. Also, executive power is exercised by the government, that is cabinet. Legislative power is vested in the Knesset, and judiciary is independent of executive and legislature. Also, Israeli judicial courts consist of 3-tier system. First of all, there are magistrate courts which serve as a court of first instance. Second is district courts that serve as appellate courts. And last is Supreme Court that act as Supreme Appellate Court. Fine. Also, the Prime Minister is selected by President based on the number of seats in the Knesset won by the members or party leaders coalition. Okay. Next question. Which of the following statements conform to the provisions of the Code on Wages 2019? First is, a uniform floor wage to be set by central government for entire India. So the floor wage under the 2019 code is set by the central government, and it may be different for different geographical regions. Also, the living standards of the workers will be taken into account while fixing the floor wage. Fine. So there is no concept of uniform floor wage, hence it is wrong. Second statement is, each state is free to set a minimum wage above the floor wage set by the central government. So the minimum wage set by the state or center is to be higher than floor wage set by the central government, and in case the wage is already higher than the floor wage, then it cannot be reduced. Okay, so this is right. And third statement says the act provides for overtime wage which must be at least double to the normal wage rate. So basically the overtime wages are to be paid if the employees work beyond the normal working day hours fixed by the government, and this overtime wage must be at least twice the normal wage rate. So this is also right, and correct answer becomes only 2 and 3. Important thing is these minimum wages are notified by government and revised at an interval of up to 5 years. Fine. Now coming to last question, which of the following involve some kind of India's investment in Iran? First is Chabahar port. This is the only oceanic port of Iran and it is located in the Gulf of Oman. So basically in 2021 to 2022 Union budget, India has set aside 100 crore rupees for the development of this port. So yes, this is right. Second is Farzad B gas field. This is a gas field in the Persian Gulf and 60% of its 23 trillion cubic feet of reserve is recoverable. And ONGC Videsh Limited was involved in the discovery of the field in the offshore exploration block called Farzad B. Okay. Now third is Zaranj-Dilaram Highway. This is a roadway that connects the Iranian border with Dilaram in Afghanistan, and this was developed by BRO, that is Border Road Organization. So this is also right, and correct answer becomes all 1, 2 and 3. Also India was initially involved in the Chabahar Zahedan Hajigagh railway link to enable the transport of minerals from Hajigagh in Afghanistan to Iran's Chabahar port. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked this session. If you want to give any review, feedback or suggestion regarding these lectures, you can tell us in the comment section. Definitely we'll try to implement that. And now we'll meet again tomorrow with 5 more new and interesting questions. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. And please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.